Hey guys, Young here. So today I'd like to go through this stock analysis that I actually found was pretty useful, especially in times like this, a trade war and everything. So it's a stock that's only operating in US, so it's nothing to do with any trade war, and I think it's quite good for us to explore. Alright, so for those of you who do not know me, I'm Yongik. I'm actually a coach at Mary Buffett online school by Barry Buffett. In 2017, I actually won the best overall investing strategy on Money Mind Challenge. So these people are my judges, and they actually vet through all my trades. I'm actually also the head trainer for Alpha Investor. I actually founded Alpha Investor. Together as a group of community, I'm actually very privileged to have Thomas and Yongkin to advise me along the way, help me out and help the community out in terms of stock investing and what we should do every single time and every single week at some talks, and those talks that we conducted for free. Alright? So add me on Facebook, subscribe to me on YouTube, and you'll see a lot of contents there. Alright, so Corecivic. Right, Corecivic is traded in the New York Stock Exchange as CWX. The sector is real estate, and it's specialized in the industry. It is in specialized REITs. Alright, so Corecivic is basically a diversified government solution company with the skill and experience to solve tough government challenges in flexible and cost-effective ways. Now, what is it? What is this kind of challenges they are facing? But they're actually facing this thing of correction and detention management. So basically, kind of get a rough idea what they do. They basically are like prison services, like a correction facility services for the US, the entire US. All their offenders and everything. They go over to these facilities for rehab or to get to go inside and stay for maybe 3 to 5 years, a minimum sentence of 3 to 5 years around there. So it is actually the largest owner of partnership correctional, detentional, and residential retiree. I have no idea how to pronounce this retiree facilities. Alright, so they're the biggest one according to here. Actually, when I did a quick check on it, they are in fact the biggest one. Later I'll show you which is the closest competitor. And they have been a dependable partner for the government for over 35 years. This shows that this business has been there. It's a sustainable business that is actually working with the government in the US sector. Alright, US country. Now we actually found out there's another close group that's called Geo Group, and these are some things that we're looking out for. It shouldn't be all very strange to you. It should be quite familiar already. Now, Corecivic's core business, get the pun, Corecivic's core business. Alright, the reason why I like it is because can a country have no crime? It's just like funeral services. They will never go out of business because there's no such thing as no death, and there's likewise there's also no such thing as no crime. Alright, in Corecivic, it is the largest state-owned facilities with 129 owned facilities in the US country itself. It's the largest private owner of real estate by all of the US government agencies. The largest one by in terms of real estate, with 35 years partnership with the government agency. That includes the Federal Bureau of Prison, United States Marshal Services, and United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is also in short called ICE. So it makes up around 50% of the revenue. So here's where it gets interesting. Okay, you cannot see this, but it's actually put part 1. Okay, so the US government actually this is okay. Here's how it go. Okay, so our customer contracts for providing bed capacity, correctional and detentional and residential retiree services every single for every new offender that comes inside. So these customers are the government agency. The typical term for this is 3 to 5 years and contains multiple renewal options. This is for offenders that committed a huge offense that maybe like 15 years jail sentence. So the contract is like 3 years first, or maybe 5 years. Then at the end of 3 or 5 years, they renew again, then renew again. So what happens is that 95% of offenders stays more than 6 years. Alright, 95% of offenders stays. So you kind of can tell that these are like tenants, right? You call it like the tenants. So they stay at least 6 years or more. The government also lease agreements, they have leasing agreements with Corecivic's property. They actually have a term of maybe either 5 to 20 years. So they actually lease the whole detention facilities from Corecivic for at least like 5 to 20 years with renewal options. And the weighted average of it is actually 6.5 years remaining. So there's still 6.5 years remaining of contract with the government for all the facilities that Corecivic properties actually have. Here's where you get interesting part 2. Now, Corecivic is actually compensated for providing bed capacity and all this kind of stuff, based on the actual or minimum guaranteed occupancy. Alright, minimum guaranteed occupancy. Have you heard of minimum guaranteed occupancy in any REITs in any sector? No. You only hear in Corecivic. Why? Because look at it, right? The occupancy rate, right, is around 81% in for prisoner services in 2018, but they are compensated 93%, right? So no matter what happens, right, the Corecivic always will have a business with the government. Even if there's no prisoners, right, there will still be compensated up to 90%. So it's just incredible. It's kind of like a solid rice bowl that does not crack, and at the same time they get compensated a lot of money. Alright. Here's where you get interesting part 3. Alright. So in the Corecivic properties, they actually own properties and lease to third parties, such as the government agencies that they actually lease by per square feet than bed capacity, and you can see that the lease portfolio has been 100% since 2016. So this shows that in terms of, if you compare like REITs in Singapore, right, you can see that maybe the occupancy rate of tenant is like 90 something percent. So that's considered quite good, right? But this is 100% and by mostly by the government sector. So you can see that it's a solid rice bowl, again solid rice bowl. Alright, so what's so good about their facilities, right? So first and foremost, they have a lot of programs. First program is to actually help offenders with basic education by providing high school equivalency diplomas and education programs. They also have the residential drug abuse program. They also help individuals to learn marketable skills to help them find a job after they actually leave the correctional services, the correctional facilities. They also teach them life skills such as job search, financial planning, parenting, and so much more. And that's why they're actually they're very holistic in terms of reshaping the offenders that come into the facilities. In terms of operational versus regulation, right, they're in line with many regulations. In terms of the ACA, you can see the American Correctional Association that's audits 3 times a year. They have an average portfolio eligibility of 99.5%. For health-wise, there's 2 certified for health. For federal, states, local government codes and everything is also all done. Prisoner Rape Elimination Act is also in line. They also established a QAD, Quality Assurance Division, that does over 1,000 audits annually, that reports directly to DOJ, District Attorney of, I can't remember, that some jurisdiction kind of thing. It's basically like the Ministry of Laws kind of stuff, right? So that's what they call it, okay? So, is the business putting effort to be the leading prison services? Can I ask you that? If so, do you think that the government will be more likely to renew their leased services with Corecivic? Now, I cannot answer that for you. You have to answer that for yourself, right? Now let's talk financials. So let's take a quick look at their financials. Alright, so let me just click on the link. We'll bring over to financials. We see that Corecivic wise, if you can pause this video, you can take a quick glance at the revenue. In terms of revenue, gross profit margin, operating income, net income, earnings per share, everything has not been growing substantially. So it has just been like rather stagnant, up and down a little bit, rather stagnant, because this is not a growth stock. This is a REITs stock. Alright, but we can see a dividend, has been surged up between this period, alright, and then it's come down slightly. But overall, the average past 5 years, they're actually yielding around 8.5% dividend, so that's quite good. We'll see that payout ratio is actually getting higher and higher year over year, but we'll come to that later when we compare the next company, the competitor of it. You see book value has been around stagnant also. So everything else, you can pause this video, you can go through all of these things. In terms of Morningstar wise, you can just simply click on this link and just type this link to your Google browser. You can see that in terms of profitability wise, in terms of growth wise, in terms of financial wise, it's not the best company. It's just an average company that's not doing very well. It's not doing very bad. Okay, but some things to highlight is also that their debt to equity ratio is rather high, around 1.28. Okay, but we have to go through that later in a while. So next, if you actually do a quick summary, it will be something like this. It's one, you can see that all of these things I list out, we can actually pause this video and take a quickly go through it. So you can see it's 100% not a growth play, but instead it's a 100% dividend play. And you notice that past 5 years, stock has been down 34.92%. But at the same time, if you actually calculate, if you use a constant dividends of 8%, you collect constant 8%, you actually made a total of 40% returns based on dividends for the past 5 years. Now you take away the 30% dividend tax from US, so probably in around 6 years, 6 years to break even. But once you get past around 10 or 11 year mark, everything else will be 100% profit to you already. Okay, so let's talk technicals right now. In terms of technical, we can see that Corecivic is kind of alright trading within a channel which is always around that price. You'll never see it below a channel. You'll never see it too high above that channel also. So let's quickly take a look at it. So when you look at Corecivic's price, you can see that over the past let's go by 1 month by 1 month. You can see that since 2007, it has always been trading within this range of at least $12 is the lowest it go. But if you talk about after market recovery, right, it's around $18 all the way up to maybe $40. But I suppose all this kind of period is like high emits, high offendees period. But if you talk about average period, just not much volume in terms of prisoner and everything for the past 3 years, you can see not much prisoners, right? Just now I shared with you guys, there's 81% and slowly increasing. There's actually lower percentage and slowly increasing number of prisoner offenders in Corecivic. We can see that the average yield is around 18 to 25, around there. It always trade within this channel over here. Okay, then next let's talk options. When I take a look at option wise, we can go over to Yahoo Finance easily. We can check out the options. How much do we need to pay for options? Look at Straddle wise, we can see that in 21st June, our Straddle would just collect maybe 25 cents in premiums. So if you were to go further out in time, you can just keep changing it up to you. So how can you collect more? You can basically collect more by going super far out in time, right? Maybe September 20th, you collect 89 cents premium, so you lower your break-even price to $20, right? So you kind of manipulated your dividend also upwards to maybe 8.5% yield per year, right? So this is how you can take advantage of all of this kind of stuff, to make your dividend yield higher, to lower that stupid 30% dividend tax you have to pay to the US government, alright? So these are some small tricks you can do. And if we look at REITs wise, we compare our next closest competitor, Geo Group. Both are actually doing with government. Geo Group has slightly better financials in terms of they're actually making consistent growth in revenue and net profit year over year. The dividend yield is also slightly better of 8.87%, but that comes with a price of a payout ratio that's higher than Corecivic of around 30%. So this is actually quite significant. 30%, you think about it, is quite small, but in a business perspective, when I'm doing so big in a huge scale perspective, 30% is actually very, very big. Now next, when we look at debt to equity ratio, we also want it to be low. In terms of Corecivic, we have 1.33 debt to equity ratio, whereas in terms of Geo Group, we actually found out a debt to equity ratio of 2.32. So there's a lot of debt within this company itself, and it's actually not very, very good in terms of a recession, because end of the day, we buy all this stock to get recession proof, right? Because they will always be there, prison services will always be there, plus it's a US company not affected by trade war. So that is also one thing we're concerned about, okay? And then we take a look at the portfolio wise, we see that Corecivic actually have 129 facilities in US, whereas Geo Group only have 73 facilities in US. Now in terms of occupancy rate, we see that Corecivic has 93.5% occupancy in terms of the offenders, and Geo Group actually have 92.7% in terms of offenders. So that makes up, a kind of a disparity there. And now the question comes down to, do you actually go for Corecivic or Geo Group? Well, both is actually equally good, but in my perspective, I would prefer Corecivic more because I see that it's around stable kind of financials, and the debt is lower, the occupancy, the facilities is better and everything. Alright, so I've come to the end of this session. I'm Yongik and I hope to see you in the next analysis. Bye bye.